Right now this morning, a UWL student accused of sexual assault is due back in court today. What we know ahead.
Record-breaking heat in our forecast coming up, as well as particular storms coming into the forecast later in the week.
This is News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning, I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Monday, March 10th. Going to be a nice day today, right, Art?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Isn't it? Record heat.
I'm kidding. Record heat. We're going to have warmer conditions, breezy and gusty conditions as well. But there is an elevated risk for areas right by Eau Claire, extending down to Arcadia as well, getting over into portions of Minneapolis as well there for you. We're also going to be seeing record heat in the forecast as we get into temperatures busting some records today. Let's deal with that. We'll also see it again as we go into Friday. And eventually, as we get into Friday, we also have some storm activity coming in. Later on into Friday, going into Saturday as well, storm activity comes in, rain. There's going to be some storm activity, and that continues all the way through Saturday. It should be continuing to finish out by the time we get into Sunday morning. So that's what that local forecast is going to show you there. Holding on to increasing clouds, getting to partly cloudy skies today with storm activity well up to the north in the form of showers. That's going to kind of stay up there for a while. Tuesday possibly kind of dropping down a little bit near I-94. We'll also see today record-breaking heat. As you can see, 67 degrees today should tie our record. You can see that as well as we get into it. Our high today, 67, 64 for our record high today, possible 65 as we get into Eau Claire to finish out your day. When I come back, I'll have an overview of how this all shapes up for your week. And of course, we'll take a peek at the storm activity coming our way and St. Patrick's Day coming in for next Monday.
La Crosse police are investigating a shooting on the city's north side. Police say that happened yesterday on Logan Street between Wood and George Streets. Officers responding found one victim with a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Anyone with information is asked to contact La Crosse police. UWL student Logan Zdanowicz appears in court today on sexual assault charges. The 19-year-old is charged with second-degree sexual assault of an intoxicated victim. The criminal complaint states the victim heard Zdanowicz mention roofie roulette before feeling sick. When questioned, Zdanowicz allegedly told police the woman was likely unable to consent. His preliminary hearing starts at 11. A Toma stabbing suspect faces arraignment today. 18-year-old Leo Pugrim is charged with attempted first-degree intentional homicide and first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Police say he allegedly stabbed someone during a fight on Glendale Avenue. The victim suffered wounds to the upper torso and hands. Pugrim's arraignment is set for 9 this morning. 2 convicted felons are in custody after a weekend traffic stop uncovered drugs, weapons, and stolen goods. Campbell police say they discovered those items during a traffic stop early Saturday morning. Onalaska police first spotted the vehicle, which was linked to thefts in Dickeyville. Canine River found methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, and a loaded firearm. You see him there with some of that. 40-year-old Austin Reichs and 41-year-old Carly Wittenberg were arrested and booked into the La Crosse County Jail. 5 people were injured after a plane crash just outside of a retirement home in Pennsylvania. The single-engine Beechcraft Bonanza crashed into a parking lot just after 3:15 yesterday. Footage after the crash captured about a dozen cars in the parking lot. You see several cars right here. And this was, of course, just steps away from a retirement home. Nobody inside or on the grounds was hurt. The FAA and NTSB are now investigating. Israel has cut electricity flow to Gaza, leaving most of the city without power. Video shows only LED streetlights you see here functioning this morning after the municipality activated backup generators. A Hamas spokesperson claims the cuts won't have much impact, though, as the region has faced power shortages since the October 7th attack. This development comes as Israel-Hamas talks expected to resume following the expiration of the first phase of the ceasefire. And President Trump continues to defend his aggressive tariff policies against American trading partners like Mexico and Canada. The majority party in Canada choosing a new leader to take over for outgoing Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Derek Waller reports.
We're going to have jobs. We're going to have open factories. It's going to be great.
President Trump downplaying concerns about the possibility of a recession, but also not ruling it out.
There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big.
The new comments come after a week of whiplash on Wall Street. triggered by threats to implement new retaliatory reciprocal tariffs against Mexico and Canada on April 2nd, including those on auto imports. And the possibility of a government shutdown Friday has also added to the economic uncertainty.
The way he's handling tariffs is the way he's handling everything else right now.
The president is backing a Republican bill to extend funding through the end of the year. That includes an increase in defense spending. But it's unclear whether House Speaker Mike Johnson has enough votes to pass it.
I think we're really going to be learning over the next 24 hours what's in it and what's not in it.
And the Republican-led House is expected to vote on that government funding bill as early as Tuesday.
Sources tell CBS News the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration preparing to lose an additional 1,000 employees as part of President Trump's federal job cuts. NOAA previously fired 880 employees last month. Flags will fly at half-staff across Minnesota in honor of Officer Felicia Riley. She died March 1st from traumatic brain injuries sustained while on duty nearly 15 years ago. Governor Walz called Riley an inspiration to many in his proclamation. Her visitation and funeral service will be held today in St. Paul. And Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers will visit 3 universities today, part of his state budget tour. Evers will kick things off at UW-Eau Claire at 9:30. He's pushing for the state assembly to pass his budget. That includes $856 million for the UW system over 2 years. After Eau Claire, the governor will visit UW-Stevens Point and UW-Parkside. The countdown to the April 1st election is on. In-person absentee voting for La Crosse residents starts March 18th. That's next Tuesday, running through March 28th. Absentee ballots will be mailed tomorrow to voters who requested them. Voters must sign the absentee certificate envelope and have a witness sign and print their name and address. Iowa is revamping its mental health and disability services. The plan reduces Iowa's 11 regions to 7 districts and relocates several service centers. Fiven Zudi shows us how this works and why one provider warns it could harm Iowans.
Iowa's 32 separate mental health and substance use service providers will be put into one system. May Henshin, the CEO for the Eastern Central Region's Mental Health and Disability Services, says the plan makes sense.
That we know that people, when they experience a brain health issue, often as high as 77% of people who experience a brain health injury also have a concurrent concern with substances. So combining the policy and funding for behavioral health makes sense in Iowa.
This new system is revamping the state's 11 regions into 7 districts, with an average of 14 counties in each district. And each district will have a disability access point to connect Iowans with the disability services they need.
The disability access points are responsible for ensuring 4 key components for people with disabilities. So one is information and referral. The second key component is something that's called options counseling. The third one is something that's called short-term services and supports. And then the last one, the fourth one, is access to long-term services and supports.
But this overall does take away 4 sites previously providing similar services, doing away with regional coordinators that were there to help adults and children.
Yes, we've always done information and referral. We've always done service coordination. Yes, we've always helped people get access to services. And there are 11 regions. There are 11 CEOs like me. There are multiple staff. They're cutting the number of staff who implement our work.
Henshin says the changes are needed, but 34 people are losing their jobs just in her region alone, and it could lead to dozens more layoffs statewide.
It's really hard for me to look at 34 of my staff and tell them that they will be without a job. So it's a little hard for me to conceptualize how many staff of the 200 statewide will have jobs on July 1st, but I know it won't be all of them.
For now, Iowa's Health and Human Services is insisting that there will be no changes to services, but Henshin says we will have to wait and see.
Will it be successful? That will depend a lot, on what happens over the next year to 2 years, that we successfully transition this system and that we have the right partners to make sure that everything works.
And skiers from across the state competed in the Derek Iverson Spring Fling over the weekend. The annual competition honors Iverson, a beloved member of the lacrosse ski community who died from cancer 4 years ago. The event drew hundreds of young skiers to Mount Lacrosse.
There are a lot of families that have never been to the La Crosse area, much less Mount Lacrosse, and so it's their first time here, and I feel like we just put on a good show for them. Not only here at Mount Lacrosse with great conditions, but La Crosse is just a very welcoming community, and people really say that this is their favorite race of the year.
The last day of the season will be Sunday, March 16th.
This year, we were actually more open earlier than ever before. We were able to open with at least half of the runs in December. We were 100% open by Christmas. That's never happened in company history. So we are just really thrilled that we got some cold weather early.
This week, the slopes will be closed today through Wednesday, then reopen Thursday for the final days of the season. Despite Saturday's beautiful weather, dozens headed indoors for a game of cornhole and a great cause. The Ace in the Hole tournament on Alaska's Omni Center raised money for Children's Miracle Network. That organization supports 170 children's hospitals across the U.S. and Canada.
It's just great to see the support for Children's Miracle Network. They have provided so much help for Oakland and our family during the tough time that we had last year.
Saturday's event had an adult and a kids tournament. And St. Patrick's Day celebrations kicking off this weekend at Cedar Creek. Steve Korger and Kathy Sexauer were crowned 2025 Irish Man and Irish Rose at the annual Shamrock Dinner. The pair will represent Irish culture at all festivities throughout the year.
Present the Shamrock Club and La Crosse Irish Fest. We're promoting Irish culture and fun in the Coulee region.
Irish Fest takes place in August. Time now is 6:10. Still ahead on your morning news. The economy reporting fewer new jobs than expected in January. The People's Union calls for an Amazon boycott, and the FAA orders another mishap investigation at SpaceX. And new retaliatory tariffs from China on certain U.S. agricultural goods start today. We'll have the latest on the escalating trade tensions. And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. A Massachusetts kayaker rescued 2 black labs after they fell through the ice. Zach Lalonde was filming when he spotted the dogs chasing geese on the frozen river. He paddled to the struggling dogs and safely returned them to their grateful owner. Wow, I bet they were grateful for sure. Glad they're okay. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call. Ooh, there's a pronouncer in here. Oh, okay, there's Lynyrd Skynyrd, the birthplace of Lynyrd Skynyrd. They gave me a pronouncer for Lynyrd Skynyrd. Jacksonville, Florida. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is next.
Shop Wisconsin's best deals at Black River Furniture Outlet. Find unbeatable prices on sectionals, big or small, to fit every home. Great savings on Ashley sofas and love seats. Style and comfort at a price you'll love. Check out our wide selection of reclining and power furniture, plus custom options from Best Home Furnishings. Experience top-tier comfort with Catnapper Furniture, where relaxation is key. Black River Furniture Outlet, your upholstery headquarters. Family values, veteran-owned, and no corporate hassle. Open 7 days a week in Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Can your floor stand up to this? At Sealands Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. You need a flooring that can stand up to mud, pets, and a crew like this. Don't sacrifice beauty for function. We'll help you find the perfect flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Come in and see our huge selection of luxury vinyl and tile. Sealands Carpetland in Coon Valley, where our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Hey, I went to the new place. They didn't have everything, but the bananas were on sale.
Wait, why didn't you go to Woodman's?
Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint. I'm Phil. Other stores promote a few items but charge more for everything else. At Woodmans, you save big time money on your whole grocery bill.
I even use the app to compare prices.
Oh my gosh, talk about receipt regret. Our work here is done.
Service and savings. It's Woodman's.
Where there's a flooded basement, musty crawl space, or wood rot, there's an answer. American Waterworks. For more than 30 years, American Waterworks has been solving homeowners' toughest waterproofing problems. Schedule your free inspection and estimate today.
I'm Steve from Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions. If you see condensation here, you could have mold hiding here. You need a trusted window company to replace the window and check for hidden issues. At Clear Choice, we know that your home is your biggest investment, and in a year like this, every dollar needs to be spent wisely. Our team will complete our Weather Guardian 15-step installation process on every job to ensure your home and family are safe before we leave. Save $100 off each window and door, plus an additional $500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
We all have a friend who loves the McDonald's hot, crispy Filet-O-Fish. My friend, you could be that friend.
Hurry in and get 2 Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for just $6.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, the heat is on. We're going to pick that up today as we get into it as well, getting into the potential for record-breaking temperatures, low risk of elevated fire dangers. You get up there by La Crosse, extending all the way out to areas by Minnesota, and then continuing on by Minneapolis there pretty much. And then we've got thunderstorm activity coming in. Chances of that as we go into Friday, starting in the afternoon at about a 30% chance, increasing up to about a 60% chance, turning to a 70% chance overnight, and going into Saturday, and that continues on through Saturday and then begins to taper down going into early morning Sunday. We've got the increase of cloud cover taking us to partly cloudy skies today. Up to the north, you can see that snow kind of brushing well up there. We have the potential for record-breaking heat Saturday or today. 67 degrees for the record, 67 degrees possibly today. Our other computer that we use to do our local temperatures is saying we're getting to 69 degrees, but I have it at 67 degrees today. Eau Claire could be at a record of 64 degrees today to beat that. Back in 2012, they may reach up to 65 degrees today, so we could have some record-breaking temperatures in other locations as well. We get into La Crosse, have the sunshine coming back into the forecast through sunrise, taking us to sunshine today. I've got pretty much a partly cloudy sky, so ICAST and I, we're not vibing right now. Holding on to Eau Claire, you're doing the same, getting up to partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies and getting that sunshine into your forecast. Gusts today will start off. We get up to about 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Then they begin to taper down as we finish out the day. Coming back again for overnight going into Tuesday, you'll see those winds get up to about 25, 26 miles per hour. Then they taper down. That's what's going to happen for you as we go through the next few days, as well as temperatures on the way up, continuing up to 74 degrees by the time we get into Friday. That's a look at your local weather. More about that coming up in just a moment. And I'll take you into that storm activity as well. Back to you.
In your consumer news, China is imposing new retaliatory tariffs on certain U.S. ag goods today. President Trump says his trade policies will help make the U.S. richer in the end, but his administration is starting to acknowledge the potential for at least some short-term pain for Americans. Amy Kiley has the latest on escalating trade tensions.
In trade, as in hockey, Canada will win.
Some American trade partners are cracking down on U.S. exports. Starting today, American farmers face new retaliatory tariffs on many products they send to China. The measures include an extra 15% duty on chicken, wheat, corn, and cotton, and a 10% one on items such as beef and soybeans. Some American farmers say they're worried escalating trade tensions could make it harder to sell their products abroad.
Everything we produce far exceeds what the domestic market could handle.
Meanwhile, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's newly elected successor is standing by Canada's retaliation against the U.S.
My government will keep our tariffs on until the Americans show us respect.
President Donald Trump is doubling down. He says some tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods scheduled for April 2nd, quote, could go up. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says duties on steel and aluminum imports are set to start Wednesday. Most mainstream economists say tariffs can be inflationary. Lutnick acknowledges some prices might rise in the U.S., but Trump says any pain would be short term.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America.
America's economy added 151,000 jobs in February as employment growth rebounded. That number came in below the 160,000 jobs economists were expecting. Friday marks another solid month of job gains in the labor market, but recent economic data has shown uncertainty and layoffs are on the rise amid those monumental policy shifts from the Trump administration. A week-long boycott against Amazon starts today. The People's Union USA launching the protest, claiming Amazon hurts small businesses and exploits its workers. The group wants shoppers to avoid all Amazon-owned companies, including Ring, Whole Foods, and Prime Video. The FAA says air traffic controllers were forced to delay or divert more than 200 flights after SpaceX's 8th failed Starship launch. The uncrewed mission exploded minutes after takeoff last week, hurling debris into Florida, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean. The Federal Aviation Administration is mandating SpaceX conduct another mishap investigation for the second time this year. That was a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Art now. He's got a look at our forecast.
All righty, and away we go. Looking at this as we get into it here. Snowfall well up to the north as we get into our forecast today. A little breezy conditions also working in the forecast as well. You can see those winds kind of stirring up a little bit. That snow stays well up to the north, and it tries to sneak down into just areas north of I-94 there, and then kind of brushes down towards Ladysmith and Wausau, gets out of the way, heads towards Green Bay. Tries to bring a little bit of light snow to the ground as you get into closer to Eau Claire as well as Ladysmith, but that's going to fall short with a troughing pattern coming in. Colder air is going to ensue, so we drop from our temperatures in the middle to upper 60s today, dropping back down into the 40s, upper 40s mostly in some locations. So that colder air comes in as we go into Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and gradually we bump those numbers up slowly but surely going into Wednesday and Thursday, getting back to near mild to warm conditions, and then we bring that heat back going into Thursday and Friday possibly in our forecast. Highs today, low 61 in Ladysmith, about 67 in La Crosse. You get into Eau Claire, you're looking at 65 degrees, both record-breaking temperatures. A lot of record-breaking numbers around this region right here in this area as we get into areas by not only Minneapolis, or I should say Minnesota, but also into Iowa and continuing on. We're also going to get into the highs for at least by sunrise, getting into at least 31 to about 32, about 31 to 33 degrees out there going to sunrise. Then our temperatures get into the 11 o'clock hour, mostly 40s to low 50s, bumping you up into the 60s. You'll see 59 to the 60s working down to the area, getting into those upper 50s, upper 60s into the forecast possibly as we continue out. Then we get into 8 o'clock. Clouds come back again. We have that chance of bringing in more that shuddering flutter of flurries getting up to the north there, brushing well above I-94. Highs today, this is going to show you some of these numbers. I didn't get into the highs today, so we'll be picking them up. Mostly once you see them in the 60s, they're pretty much in the highs for the day, or potential record-breaking numbers. Also the 70s as well, working through it. You're going to be seeing that as we get into the central zone. La Crosse 67 degrees, Trempealeau 71, Arcadia 70. You get in Winona about 70 degrees, Osseo about 68. Back up to the north, as I mentioned, you're seeing Ladysmith at about 61. You get into Eau Claire, you're about 65 degrees as well. Holding on the highs for the day, you're looking at tomorrow, you're looking at 40s and the 50s. So we're going back to seasonal average and cooler. Then we get into Friday, this system starts to develop coming out of the Rockies, works its way up to our area, bringing in rain and snow potential as well. Breezy and gusty winds, thunderstorm activity in this associated as well, carrying out to Sunday, and we should be done. Get into your highs though, 67 degrees today, 47 for tomorrow, still on the breezy side for both days. Warmer conditions ensue for Wednesday going into Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we're looking at storm activity popping in, and I mean storm activity. It is still out of a long ways away, but it's still a possibility of that occurring, finishing out Saturday going into Sunday early morning, with St. Patrick's Day bringing us some cheer after all that rain and snow. Back to you.
All right, Art, thank you. A La Crosse repair shop is breathing new life into broken household essentials. Coming up, News 8 Now photojournalist John Hayes takes an in-depth look.
Coming up in sports, the UWL Eagles making it to their first ever Sweet 16, but they've got a special twist. Plus, the Badgers closed out the season with a loss. See where they ended up in the Big Ten tournament. That and more coming up in the Morning Blitz.
Don't miss Home's preferred customer event. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on your favorite furniture brands in bedroom, dining room, living room, and mattresses. Hurry in. The preferred customer event only at Home Furniture.
Dreaming of a career but worried about time and cost? At CVTC, we make it easy. With low tuition costs and a wide variety of programs to choose from, we'll get you job ready in just 1 to 2 years. You'll graduate with minimal debt and find a career you love with competitive starting salaries. Dive into your future today with affordable, fast, and rewarding programs at CVTC. Visit cvtc.edu to learn more.
T-Mobile is very reliable.
It's always nice to know that T-Mobile has us covered.
I love the fact that my family and I, we can stay connected just about anywhere we want to go.
My network is my lifeline.
And after investing billions to light up our network from big cities to small towns, T-Mobile is America's largest and fastest 5G network. See for yourself. Right now, get 4 free phones plus 4 lines for $25 per line when you switch.
When my sister was murdered 15 years ago, Brad Schimmel kept his promise to us. He told us he was going to get us justice, and he did. When I see these commercials attacking him, I have a lot to say about that, because Brad would kneel next to my mom and hold her hands. And you're going to tell me that's a person that doesn't care about victims? I'm sorry, that is not true. Brad puts victims first, and that's the type of person that should be in the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
The new Nacho Taco Bravo from Taco John's. Our famous beef crispy taco wrapped in a soft tortilla, all held together by refried beans and warm nacho cheese. This is Nacho Average Taco. Get 2 for just $6, only at Taco John's.
Home Seasonal Concepts is now open, and right now get a free custom order patio fabric upgrade from top brands Homecrest and Tropitone. Plus, get up to 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on porch and patio at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Welcome to the Morning Blitz. We had a busy weekend of sports that included the UWL Eagles making it to their first ever NCAA D3 Sweet 16. On Saturday night at the Lacrosse Center, UWL took on St. Norbert in the second round, and the Eagles were locked in from the very start. They took a 10-point lead at a halftime. That eventually led to a 77-67 win. Now UWL is entering territory they've never been, but the team has proven to be one of the best in the country, and now they're ready to get back to work.
I'm excited for this group of guys to go in the Sweet 16, and I think we're ready. And like you said earlier, we're battle tested, and that's something that coaches talked about since the beginning of the year. Just our schedule, it was a gauntlet, but we played pretty well, and we're playing good down the stretch, so that's all that matters.
Not only is it the first Sweet 16 in school history, but UWL will be hosting the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 over at Mitchell Hall. On Friday, the Eagles will face Illinois Wesleyan University. That one will be at 7 o'clock, while Wisconsin Lutheran College will face Washington University of St. Louis at 4 o'clock. And then on Saturday, the Badgers dropped their final game of the regular season to Penn State, who was just 5-14 in Big Ten play going into the game. Wisconsin is now just 2-3 in their last 5, and all of that momentum from the middle of the season seems to have fallen off. Luckily, though, it's tournament time, and Wisconsin can gain it all back in the Big Ten tournament. They've landed the 5 seed, where they will face the winner of Northwestern in Minnesota. The Big Ten tournament starts on Wednesday in Indianapolis. The Badgers will start their first game on Thursday afternoon. Staying in Madison, it's been announced that the Wisconsin women's basketball coach Marissa Mosley has resigned from her position. Now the Badgers will look to find a new person to lead the team. Mosley finished her 4-year tenure with a 47-75 overall record, including 21-51 in Big Ten play. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth
towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a deer. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin, family-owned, turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
Chevy makes affordable vehicles that help you enjoy life. Get more for less in the Chevy Trax. Maximize every mile in the all-electric Equinox. And power through with the capable Colorado. Enjoy endless possibilities and your new Chevy. Qualified lessees can get this Equinox EV for around $319 a month. Plus, current eligible Costco members can get up to $12.50 member-only incentive.
When she was a lawyer, Susan Crawford defended Planned Parenthood.
And she personally trusts women to decide whether to have an abortion.
Not Brad Schimmel.
He wants to take us back to the 1849 law
that bans abortion for rape and the health of the mother.
So Susan Crawford is the common sense judge who will protect our rights. And Brad Schimmel is the extremist who will take them away.
That's why we need
Susan Crawford. Susan Crawford.
Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back. In your morning medical news, despite strong evidence that vaccines don't cause autism, the CDC reportedly planning a new study on the topic. A source says the Department of Health and Human Services, led by newly confirmed Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., requested that research. The CDC has already published several studies on this issue, and none have found any evidence linking vaccines to autism or other neurodevelopmental disorders. Autism rates in the U.S. have increased in recent years, experts attributing that to better awareness, updated diagnostic criteria, and improved access to specialty care. A California teen's heart is beating in rhythm again after he helped his doctors pinpoint the exact location of his heart issue. Ashley Sharp explains.
This time last year, Ian Long couldn't have played this game of basketball with his family because his heart was beating at a marathon pace.
These are the extra beats.
At 15 years old, at a routine annual checkup, Ian's pediatrician found an arrhythmia, or an irregular heartbeat.
With it being so silent, is the worst case scenario is that his heart will fail.
After medications failed, Ian and his family opted for surgery. But for the doctors to find what they needed inside Ian's heart, he would have to be strong.
If you can do this awake, it would really help them out. And he was like, okay, the kid was brave.
My parents, that gave me that confidence, and the doctors.
Enduring a 3-hour procedure as doctors fed wires into his heart, finding the rare irregularity. Ian was awake and alert the entire time.
So it's pretty rare that we have to do that. It's really kudos to him for being able to do that. Is pretty remarkable.
Dr. Scott Zareznik of Stanford Medicine Children's Health performed the surgery.
What can happen is these extra beats can cause the heart muscle to weaken, to not be able to squeeze as effectively as it should.
Now, more than 6 months post-op, the teen has made a full recovery with no extra heartbeats recorded since.
I asked him, I said, buddy, how do you feel? And put his hand to his heart and took a deep breath, and he said, my heart is slow.
Ian has a new love for life.
A lot more exercise, play sports that I never really play.
And with that, new perspective that health is our greatest wealth.
And bird enthusiasts flocked to Houston, Minnesota for the International Festival of Owls over the weekend. What began as a simple Hatch Day party in 2003 has soared into a major event. The festival now features international speakers, World Owl Hall of Fame awards, and a competitive children's owl art contest.
From my perspective, there's several points to doing this. Our main one is education, to teach people not just about owls, but how we impact owls and how we can live more owl-friendly lives.
Wow, look at that majestic one. The festival also helps financially support the center and the Houston community as people from around the world come to celebrate the owls. And beer lovers raising their glasses for animals in need over the weekend. The Cooley Region Humane Society hosted its third annual Critter Crawl, taking participants on a pub tour. The event raised funds for animals in foster homes and shelters. At nearly every stop, a different shelter dog joined the festivities.
Getting everybody together, having fun, talking about animals, supporting the shelter as a whole, and just we have some really good dogs coming to visit the different bars and different locations, so that's exciting for everybody to get to see too.
I bet they loved that. There was also a raffle and a spin the wheel game to win prizes. In this week's eyepiece, we meet the local experts, keeping our vacuum cleaners running strong. News 8 Now photojournalist John Hayes takes us inside a La Crosse repair shop that's breathing new life into these essential household tools.
I knew right away. He had a passion for tearing things apart and putting them back together.
Favorite part of a vacuum? Honestly, the pleasure of making it work again. Making it work correctly again. You know, you take, well, for instance, this Dyson here, it came in, the machine would die. This is the type of cleaning that the consumer won't generally do to their vacuum because, well, it takes time. The customer would use it, 10 minutes later, it just, no power. And lo and behold, the biggest thing is it just needed a really good cleaning. The filters were plugged up, the cyclone's plugged up, the nozzle head's got some hair and debris in it, things like that. You know, and bringing it back to new life. Specialty. Having many machines to choose from to fit that consumer's needs is probably one of the biggest things that keeps consumers coming back. But service after the sale is huge. That's been probably the #1 thing that brings customers back, is being able to service their whatever vacuum they purchased. And I got a job here, and it was just, I've always done something, working on stuff with my hands. If I can take it apart, I can put it back together, and I can get it fixed.
Lance says he hopes for another 75 years of successful business in La Crosse. Now we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our morning commute.
All right, talk about a work ethic right there. There you go. All right, holding on to our forecast, record-breaking heat potential for a lot of folks out there today. We'll see this today and Friday as well. Also a low risk of elevated fire danger. That goes all the way from Minneapolis, extending up to I-94 as well there. In fact, as we get into it, we have storm activity potential in the forecast as well. I'll show you that next time I come up again, but for now, clouds are on the increase. We'll get to partly cloudy skies today. Then we'll get into this where you can see the record high temperature today, 67 degrees. We're looking at a high for ourselves today at 67 degrees. That's going to be a tie, and we could actually break it if ICAST computer wins out over myself today. 64 degrees, we are looking at the record high. We're going to reach 65 over in Eau Claire today, so another record-breaking temperature, and other locations in between us are also going to be getting that as well. Adding in the sunshine, it could be a beautiful day out there, 30s and the 50s and the 60s, holding on for a nice day of sunshine to get that vitamin C in your body there. Eau Claire, you're looking at more sunshine for you today as well, getting in the 9 o'clock hour and beyond, up to about 64 degrees for your local highs. A little bit on the gusty side though, not only today but tomorrow as well. Today we'll get into, for the evening commute, you'll see the winds gusting up a little bit, coming back again as we go right through overnight and tonight, and then finishing out just before sunrise for tomorrow, getting into your forecast. All right, well, that happening there, you're going to see temperatures on the rise as we go through the next few days, so prepare yourself for that. Also, I'll have more about this coming up for you in just a moment.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Addison is turning 8. She loves arts and crafts and music and Legos.
And Boone is also turning 8. He enjoys playing with Hot Wheels, eating pizza, and visiting his grandparents during the summer.
That was like my childhood right there. Hey, Axel is turning 8. He loves to race his go-kart and play video games and spend time with his friends.
And Allison is also turning 8. She loves to ride four-wheelers, play outside, and watch the fish in her new fish tank.
Hey, if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old, soon we'd love to feature them.
Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab. Coming up, a simple change that could prevent dangerous falls. With 38,000 seniors dying from falls every year, trading your throw rugs for coffee mugs could help save lives. We'll tell you how you can get involved after the break.
Don't miss Home's preferred customer event. Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on your favorite furniture brands in bedroom, dining room, living room, and mattresses. Hurry in. The preferred customer event, only at Home Furniture.
When my sister was murdered 15 years ago, Brad Schimmel kept his promise to us. He told us he was going to get us justice, and he did. When I see these commercials attacking him, I have a lot to say about that, because Brad would kneel next to my mom and hold her hands. And you're going to tell me that's a person that doesn't care about victims? I'm sorry, that is not true. Brad puts victims first, and that's the type of person that should be in the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Jolivet Family Farms, known for farm fresh fruit and vegetables, but featuring so much more. Come see all that we have. Homemade bakery, large selection of locally produced honey, gourmet popcorn, craft beer, wine, and cheese, meat and seafood, arts and crafts, and so much more. There is no substitute for homegrown freshness. Open daily year-round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
For over 40 years, Blood Cross Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
Hello, I'm Christy Halenka, Reading Program Chair at Viterbo University. Viterbo is proud to serve our area communities by providing programs that produce quality educators and leadership in our schools. Viterbo University is once again partnering with News 8 to recognize outstanding classroom teachers in the area. We look forward to working with generations of teachers and change agents for years to come. Do you know a top-notch teacher? Then go online to news8000.com or write to this address.
The camper. It has been a reliable companion for your family's good times. But after years of use, it has shown some wear and tear. A broken window from an errant baseball, a couch that your dog allegedly chewed on, and an AC unit that doesn't work like it should. It's time to call Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. We have been improving your family's camper since 1970. Call us today and we will make your camper feel brand new. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
It's the preferred customer event at Home Sleep Express. Get up to 10% off sale prices or pay no interest for 3 years on Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. Get this Aurora Queen or this Jewel Pillow Top Queen, your choice, for just $8.99. The preferred customer event, now at Home Sleep Express.
All right, record-breaking heat. Yay! Warmth. Yay! Low humidity, not so much. Boo! But we have the breezy and gusty winds out there today, too. That's going to be for today, going into Friday as well. And then storm activity comes in Friday all day, gets into the afternoon and evening hours, and starts up again as we go into rain and snow mix, carrying over into Saturday. That's going to be all day. And then by Saturday night, going into Sunday, that's going to start tapering down, finishing out, possibly going into Sunday morning. All right, this is what's happening up there for today, all up to the north. You can see it up along well above I-94, and that kind of drops down on us, brings in a little extra colder air. You can see that colder air kind of dropping all the way down towards La Crosse as well, where that troughing pattern finishes all the way out to the areas towards Chicago. Then we get into Tuesday. You can see this. We're going to be on the cooler side, so we go from 67 degrees today, possibly going back into the 40s for tomorrow. And as that happens, you see that colder air mixed with snow, rain and snow mix there as well, trying to get down towards well, mostly around, say, Ladysmith, and then kind of kicks out, dusts out, and then eventually we go into warmer conditions to follow for midweek going into Thursday. Looking at temperatures today, 61 to about, say, 70 degrees. I know it said 72 there, but I looked earlier, and some of the locations are going to finish out around 70. We'll get to about 67 degrees. Eau Claire, you did about 65 for them today. As we get into it here, we'll go right through the day. Partly cloudy skies will ensue, mostly in some areas up to the north. We'll get to mostly sunny skies. Clouds come back again tonight, though. Then we're going to see those clouds continue to drag in some of that snow. You can see well up to the north there. And as it does, it continues to do so, pushing all the way through Tuesday into the morning hours and afternoon. Highs for Tuesday, well, we're looking at 41 to about, say, 52, 53 degrees out there. Partly cloudy skies again, but then I take it over to the latter portion of the week, getting to the work week for Friday, and that storm system continues to move out, going through Omaha, going through Nebraska, and then out of Nebraska it goes all the way up to Minneapolis, and then continues to circle us, holding on all the way through Saturday, bringing rain and storm activity. You see more of that down to the south, continuing to follow up along this frontal boundary and getting some thunderstorm activity in that as well to finish out going into Sunday, where it all begins to taper down. Then we have this 67 to 47 degrees we're looking at, and then we start to warm you up, as I mentioned before. Warmer again by Friday. You're looking at 74 degrees. Yikes, what is this, summertime already? And then getting into more 50s to finish out going into Saturday. But look how cold it is for Sunday. 35 degrees. Oh my goodness, that just made me feel cold again. St. Patrick's Day is coming up, though. Everybody's going to warm up and have a good old time for that, though. Get out and enjoy it.
Falls are one of the biggest health risks for older adults, causing 38,000 deaths and 3 million emergency room visits each year. And a surprising culprit may be right under your feet. Joining us this morning, Megan Anderson from Amplify Health by Gunderson and Molly McCormick from the La Crosse Fire Department to tell us about a creative program that helps prevent falls while supporting local coffee shops and animal shelters. Good morning. Thank you both for being here with us.
Hey, thanks so much for having us.
Happy to see you. So what should we know about the Mugs for Rugs program?
Yeah, so Mugs for Rugs is a falls prevention program between Amplify Health and the La Crosse Fire Department, where we're trying to raise awareness, keep people safer. We want people to be sipping, not slipping. And so it's pretty exciting, and we just want to get the word out there.
Okay, great.
So many people don't realize that throw rugs are a little bit on the dangerous side. As I told you earlier, I almost fell out my window because of that. So, and in the bathroom, I almost tripped over one rug. I had to put like a basket there just to make sure I could see it, you know. So tell us about that.
For sure.
Well, falls are the cause of one of the top causes of traumatic injury that we see at Amplify Health, and we know that many of those happen in and around the home. Rugs are a large source of slipping and tripping, especially if they don't have that rubber back or aren't taped or tacked down. So rugs can be a source of falls.
Talking more spiral fractures for people trying to catch themselves when they fall, or something worse?
Sure, yeah. A variety of injuries can result from falls.
Okay, yeah, something you definitely don't think about. So what do we do? Is it any kind of rug, or how does it work? What do we need to bring in, and what do we get in exchange?
Yeah, so you bring your 4x6 or smaller rug to any of the participating coffee shops throughout the month of March. You put it in the bin, and then you get a free Mugs for Rug mug filled with the house brew.
Oh, so where can we go to participate in this?
Yeah, so we actually partnered up with 9 local coffee shops. So we've got 6 here in La Crosse and then 3 in Holmen, which is awesome. So we've got extra coffee shops this year. Last year, we didn't have as many, so we're hoping to really spread that word and get people more involved.
Yeah, that's great. We've got some up on the screen. We saw Java Vino there, Cozy Coffee. All your favorites are on there, really, right?
Of course.
So it should be great and easy to participate. And so what happens to the rugs that are collected?
Oh, we're really excited. So we took the campaign up a level this year because it's our 2nd annual campaign. And so we're partnering with local high school students and the Cooley Region Humane Society. So once March ends and we've got all the rugs that's collected, we're going to be working with local high school students alongside our firefighters to repurpose those rugs into cat scratching posts.
Okay.
And then Cooley Region Humane Society is either going to use those for fundraising or they're going to give them away with their cat adoptions. And so we really are excited to take this to the next level because this collaboration helps us not only to repurpose those rugs for good, but it helps us to get a younger audience involved with this conversation. This isn't just about older adults. Falls impact everybody. And when you've got a granddaughter or grandson that gets involved in the conversation, maybe they can help us motivate their grandparents a little bit more too.
For sure. All hands on deck, right? That's what we
I
need.
think she just called me old.
No, I said
no
falls
way.
impact everyone is what I said.
So how long has this been going on now? How long has this been happening?
So this is our second year.
Your second year, okay,
Yep.
all right.
Okay, great. All right, well, anything else people should know or why you would encourage them? It's a pretty simple way to help the community, right?
Absolutely, and really the big thing is sharing is caring.
Right.
And so get out there, make sure that people know that this is spring cleaning. The clutter in our homes is a common tripping hazard to everybody, and we just want you to live a healthy, safe life, and this can help you do that by being more aware. There's all kinds of resources, so check out our Mugs for Rugs website, get more involved.
Okay, certainly.
It's more fun.
And it's more fun.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you both for being here. We'll have all the locations and a link to the information on our website. So stay with us. We're back right after this.
I'm Gail Kane, coming right up on CBS Mornings. It's Beg Knows America. David introduces us to a refugee who's living the American dream, and now he's giving back to the country that helped him. Plus, the great Robert De Niro will be live in studio to talk about his latest movie where he plays not one, but two characters. And he's good in both of them. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Working with Maxwell White was amazing. They were professional, answered all of my questions.
I give Maxwell White my highest possible recommendation.
Maxwell White did a fabulous job on our shower install. 5-star plumbing service done right.
Craving authentic Mexican flavors? Look no further than Señor Villa. At Señor Villa, we bring the taste of Mexico to your table every day. Join us for our unbeatable $5 lunch specials packed with flavor and value. And don't miss our nightly specials where the fiesta never ends. Señor Villa, where great food meets great value. Visit us today. Señor Villa, the taste of Mexico you've been craving.
I'm Sheriff Todd Scarbin with an important message. Wisconsin law enforcement works extremely hard to keep you safe. So when liberal judges like Susan Crawford refuse to actually punish violent criminals, it undermines our entire system. She gave only 4 years to a guy who raped a 6-year-old, 2 years for a guy who beat his girlfriend and shot a man, and only 90 days for a guy who strangled a woman. We need judges to prioritize public safety. Liberal Judge Susan Crawford doesn't.
Tell Judge Crawford to stop releasing dangerous criminals.
Get the lowest prices of the year during sales fair at Nelson Agri Center, Friday, March 14th through Saturday, March 22nd. Get huge savings on Milwaukee power tools. Stock up on paint with our buy one, get one specials. We'll have deals on fencing, gates, seeds, and more for your farm. Plus, get an $8 store credit towards already low prices with the junk battery trade-in sale. Thousands of items will be on sale at the lowest prices of the year at Nelson Agri Center, downtown Viroqua.
Get ready to experience the impossible. The magic of Bill Blagg Live. An unbelievable side-splitting spectacular filled with mind-blowing magic and jaw-dropping illusions. Sensational, captivating, incredible family fun. Tickets are on sale now. Don't miss the magic of Bill Blagg Live. He's changing reality one city at a time. And yours is next.
Order at 608-796-3100 or ViturboFineArtsCenter.com.
Have you checked your sump pump lately? After a big rain, basement flooding can significantly damage your home. Stay ahead and dry with a call to Maxwell White. We have standard pumps along with battery backup systems in case you lose power. Prevent future damage. Contact Maxwell White today.
You earn trust by making a commitment and sticking to it. By telling the heartwarming local stories with the same consistency and dedication as the difficult ones. And serving this community all day, every day. We work hard for this trust and love telling your local stories. Because we, like you, expect more. We are News 8 Now.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm. The first Warn Weather Storm Runner, only from News 8 Now. expect more.
Welcome back at 6:52. Time for your morning news now. La Crosse police are investigating a shooting on the city's north side. Police say it happened yesterday on Logan Street between Wood and George Streets. Officers responding to the scene found one victim with gunshot wounds. That person was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. If you have any information, you're asked to contact La Crosse police. UWL student Logan Zdanowicz appears in court today on sexual assault charges. The 19-year-old is charged with second-degree sexual assault of an intoxicated victim at Laux Hall. Criminal complaint states the victim heard Zdanowicz mention roofie roulette before feeling sick. When questioned, he allegedly told police the woman was likely unable to consent. His preliminary hearing starts at 11. Federal investigators are at the site of a small plane crash in Pennsylvania. The aircraft plunged into the parking lot of a retirement community. All 5 people on board survived. The FAA is investigating. Secretary of State Marco Rubio will meet with Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia for high-stakes talks as Russia steps up its attacks on Ukraine. The Kremlin's war on Ukraine has caused hundreds of thousands of casualties and forced millions from their homes. Flags will fly at half-staff today across Minnesota in honor of Officer Felicia Riley. She died March 1st from traumatic brain injuries sustained while on duty nearly 15 years ago. Governor Walz calling her an inspiration in his proclamation. Her visitation and funeral will be held today in St. Paul. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers will visit 3 universities today, part of his state budget tour. He will kick things off at UW-Eau Claire at 9:30. He's pushing for the state assembly to pass his budget. That includes $856 million for the UW system over 2 years. Skiers from around the state competing in the Derek Iverson Spring Fling over the weekend. The annual competition honors Iverson, a beloved member of the La Crosse ski community who died from cancer. The event drew hundreds of young skiers to Mount La Crosse.
There are a lot of families that have never been to the La Crosse area, much less Mount La Crosse. And so it's their first time here, and I feel like we just put on a good show for them. Not only here at Mount La Crosse with great conditions, but La Crosse is just a very welcoming community, and people really say that this is their favorite race of the year.
The last day of the season will be Sunday, March 16th.
This year, we were actually more open earlier than ever before. We were able to open with at least half of the runs in December. We were 100% open by Christmas. That's never happened in company history. So we are just really thrilled that we got some cold weather early.
This week, the slopes will be closed today through Wednesday. They'll reopen Thursday for the final days of the season.
I tell you what, though, local temperatures are going to be a little bit on the breezier side today, and of course gusty, but we can see record-breaking heat coming in. The only difference is tomorrow's going to be on the cooler side. 67 degrees today, 47 for tomorrow. Warmer as we go into Wednesday, Thursday. That's why one reason why they're not going to have that much snow going on up there. And in fact, we're going to see Friday, Saturday. That comes in some snow and storm activity, rain and snow mix carrying over into Sunday early morning, and then St. Patrick's Day on Monday.
Well, dust off your game controllers. Today is National Mario Day. This day honors Nintendo's iconic character who has delighted gamers for over 4 decades now. Mario first jumped onto screens as Jumpman in the 1981 arcade game Donkey Kong. By '83, he transformed into the Italian plumber we know today. Rescuing princesses and collecting coins, the Mario franchise has sold more than 210 million copies, making it one of the most successful video game series of all time. Well, Art, you said you were not a Mario guy already, so.
No, I'm more of a Galaga fan.
Oh yeah, Galaga.
Yeah,
That's
Galaga.
the one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was more of your vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No video games here. Maybe Duck Hunt. I did like to play Duck Hunt once in a while. Do you know that one?
No.
Maybe some people out there. You know what? If Ryan was here, I think he would know about that. Thanks for starting your morning with us. We will see you back here tomorrow and at noon. Come join us. You don't know that one?